Tuesday, October 22nd, 10 a.m.
Hey, Angela and Edie. Hope you are doing well. I'm doing a lot better, I think.
Ryan.
I know my mood has been all over the place, and I've been unkind at times, and disrespectful, and ungrateful. So you can understand, though, I've been really sick, and this has just been a nightmare.
Ryan.
What's really been helping me, though, is a little bit of meditation, that inspiring affirmation that I found carved into the attic door. Been pondering the parts that were scratched out and illegible, filling in the blanks, and, just saying it over and over again in my head has helped me feel more stable and serene and with purpose. And I just want to share it with you. I don't want to sound all new age, frou-frou, but leaving the dark, I hunger for life. I walk toward the warming light. What decays can be replaced. Darkness cannot stop me. Mood is the key. I take back my power. I go through the door. I enter a new house afresh. I mean, that's nice. I wonder if your uncle carved that in the door. A message for somebody like me. Anyway, just wanted to share that. I hope you're well. I'm going to get through this. Later.
Tuesday, October 22nd, 2:13 p.m.
I was rummaging through your uncle's news clippings again. Found something kind of cool. Your uncle, the sensational Siegfried Solomon. There's lots of S's. They loved alliteration. What he was most famous for was this trick he would do where he would hang a steamer trunk from a chain high over the audience. And the audience would get to see the steamer trunk was completely empty at the start of the show, right? And he'd close it up and he'd hang it up from the ceiling from like a length of chain that was like 20 feet long. And there'd be no way anybody could get into that trunk without being seen. Then later in the show, he'd lock himself up in another identical trunk on the stage, right? And have it wrapped up in chains. Sound familiar, right? Chains all around a steamer trunk like the one upstairs. And the trunk he was locked up in would be put in like real peril. Like he'd have only a limited amount of time before it would drop into fire or into ice cold water or like onto spikes. Right? So every time he would take too long and the trunk would fall and go up in flames, or it would get speared by spikes or whatever. But just as the audience would be gasping like, oh, he's dead, the spotlight would go up onto the trunk hanging over the audience and it would open. And there he was, Uncle Siegfried, alive and well, perfectly fine. And that was his that was his big trick. There's actually a photo tucked away here, a little fragile and damaged, but it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm looking at this picture and it's like, I don't know how he could have got in there. I mean, judging by his whole thing with the magnets, he was like cutting edge. He was like the Nikola Tesla of the magicians and escape artists back in the day. So, you had a pretty cool relative. He also did these acts, he called them mesmerizing. He said they were not the same as hypnosis, where he could say someone's name in a certain way and they would obey him. And if he got them to write commands in a spiral pattern on a piece of paper, and it didn't matter how complex a task it was, the person would do it. And even if it was a skill they didn't have, like juggling or speaking a different language. Pretty wild, kind of scary.
You will forget.
Tuesday, October 22nd, 4:15 p.m.
The attic is getting a bit rank. I smell ozone up there all the time, like a nasty thunderstorm smell. And it seems to be coming from the trunk. So, electrical, that makes sense, right? But there's another smell I'm noticing, and it smells like something's dead. Years ago, before the, it was before I fucked up, and I was at a job site and we were doing some demolition. And when I knocked the wall down, I found a whole rat colony trapped in the wall, but like they had gotten stuck and they were all mummified, shriveled and desiccated, and they smell the same as the smell I'm smelling upstairs. Like if you crank the volume up to 11 on it, somewhere in the walls up there, I feel like you're gonna find 1,000 dead rodents. I probably won't be around to help you with that cleanup. one way or another, I won't be here.
End of messages.
You will forget. You will forget the staff. You will not try to leave, Ryan. What has been written in spiral shall be obeyed, Ryan.
End of messages.